Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Enrique from One Take Recording, and today we have a sample flip challenge. So over the past couple of weeks, Shayla has sent us a few samples. Now, before we get into it, this challenge was pretty much just use the samples as best as you can, go whatever creative route that you want. Now, these were the samples that we had to use. So we're super excited to show you what we made, and we're also excited to continue doing these in the future if you guys like them. So yeah, we'll just get right into it and start taking a listen to hers.
All right, we are back here, and I have to confess, after hearing Enrique's beat, I just realized that I didn't put the coffee creamer sample. I literally am really upset about it because obviously that was the rules to use. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. I just see it up here. You can see it. That was a really interesting one I was looking forward to using. So that's a bummer, but this is the first challenge. We're going to have multiple challenges like this. He's going to send me samples that I need to use and make a beat with. So I got us next time. So I feel like I just automatically, that's like one of the main rules. I failed that rule. But I used all the other ones, I promise you. We're going to break down here. Now, first of all, we got the main sample. And I actually, surprisingly, I started off with using Serato, and then I don't know, I switched halfway through and just kind of manually chopped it up. So we just have it manually chopped here. We have the first half. I have a panning plugin on there as well, and my DAW does kind of crack sometimes when I'm doing these videos, so don't mind that. But I have a automatic panner on there, so it kind of is a little bit more wide than just kind of narrow. So there is that. And the biggest thing for me is after using the samples, I was like, oh my God, I don't like these samples. And I found myself trying to samples as in like the kick and stuff. I'm very picky with my kicks and, percussion elements. But the biggest challenge was I really wanted more of I kept wanting to switch out the kick, and I literally had to stop myself because I'm like, wait, this is the challenge. Like, I have to use this kick. So, here we go. This is the kick. I finally got it to sound how I wanted, and I just threw that into Serato sample, which I really didn't need to do, but I wanted it to be thicker. I think that's why I did it. I stretched the kick just a little bit to minus 45%, and I pitch shifted it down. I cannot speak today, to kind of make it punch a little bit lower than it was. The 808 is here, and I also threw that into Serato sample. Just a basic little 808 pattern. The hi-hat was also frustrating me. I used 2 hi-hats to kind of fill it out a little bit more because it was a little bit too thin in my opinion. I have an automatic panner on there as well, and I EQ'd it to kind of take some of like the boxiness out of this hi-hat. It was like weird. I don't know. But it ended up fitting in really well. That automatic panner really saves the day when it comes to making it not as like bland or flat. We have the snare here. That one was also a challenge. I just didn't like the way it was sounding, but I played around with it and got it to how I would like. I layered it with another snare, a different snare, and EQ'd it in a way that I learned if you take out the high end of one, the low end of another one, and then layer them that way, you can get the sounds of both, make it a little bit thicker, if you know what I mean. So there's that here. Right, now we have the single note piano that I threw in there, and you can hear that here. I could have Serato sampled that. I didn't. I also did that manually, pitched it. This one's at regular, this one's at 3, this one's at 2. So those are the samples that I used, and I can show you the excess stuff that I did outside of the samples. We have some hi-hat rolls here. We have an open hi-hat. These, I used the Omni sampler that I believe was built into my DAW, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I have a shaker as well. We can listen to the perks all together. So I have all these perks in here. Doing a little pluck. And a bell. The bell was my favorite part. It went really well with it. Where's the bell? I have the synth here from Serum. I have this piano. Actually, it's not a piano, but it's from this weird plugin that sometimes acts up, but it was free, so what can you expect? It is called Reconstruct, and it just kind of generates some random stuff based on what you put into it. And got a simple little melody here going, fit really well. 808. Because I wanted to switch it up. We went from that 808 to and then I also have a pad from Decent Sampler here, Viola Arctic, from the Alt Strings package. Last but not least, we have a riser and another riser. This is more like a sweep, actually. I have a sweep and then a riser here. The bell is here. This is a sample I pulled off a splice, and I was like, oh, that shit would sound good in here, so put it in there. Next, we have this ending here. This is a pad from Padscape. It's another free plugin if you get the light version. And it just adds a good texture to the background. I also added this little piano right here. Just to kind of fill in this, you know, bridge-esque part. My sample's not wanting to play right now, but it's fine. Well, hopefully you got entertained. And I had a lot of fun making this beat. Like I said, I switched what I was doing multiple times, and I know that he also did the same. So it's a nice little challenge. I really highly recommend doing something like this just to kind of not only inspire you, but like it gives you an opportunity to try out things you normally wouldn't try out, which is why I'm really interested in hearing the samples that he sends back to me so I can really further experiment and just get myself on the computer, even on days that I don't necessarily mentally feel like I can handle it. I end up leaving the computer being satisfied with myself because I at least tried. So I highly recommend it. I've been through a lot, and my tips, you can take them how you want, but with this experience that I have and the experiences I've gone through, take it from me, this works.
Right, so now we will get into Shayla's beat. I have high expectations for her. Oh, okay. Very spooky already. liking this background synth. It sounds really cool. The swells. And this, I don't know what this is. What instrument's going on? But I really like that. And then transition back into this kind of higher octave. Oh, I like that little cutoff. Like that little like repeat with the piano part. And the slow down. Classic. So that was Shayla's beat. I thought honestly it sounded super sick. Very like spooky vibes, kind of giving Halloween. I think, you know, with that kind of bell going on in the background, it really helped kind of set the mood. I've listened to a lot of Shayla's beats, and it definitely had the like production style that I'm used to her having. It was very complete. The bass was kicking like always, but I thought it sounded really cool, and the transitions between some of those instruments, I don't know exactly all of them that were going on. I kind of sounded like some sort of wind instrument, and then going into the synths and kind of having those swells in the background. I thought it sounded really good, and it transitioned really well. But yeah, listening to this felt like classic Shayla, especially on the beat. I feel like there was a lot of room for somebody to go over, and they'd be able to, you know, make this a complete kind of song, and they had the space to do it. But now it's my turn to show off my beat. Before I get started, I want to say this was a complete different approach than kind of what we just heard. When I wrote mine, I kind of just... I don't know. You guys will see. I hope you guys enjoy it. It was super fun to make. But yeah, we'll just get right into it so you guys can take a listen, as well as see how I made it. Honestly, when I first started making this, it made me kind of think of being on like a train, right? Yeah, so, you know, let's kind of get into it. This is definitely messy. This is my mix track. This is kind of where I composed it all. And I wanted to leave it like this to show you guys that... yeah, my workflow is definitely all over the place. There's room for improvement, but that's okay. Besides that, when I am making my tracks, right, I love to do stuff that kind of build up and, you know, in a sense, storytell. I try my best to add elements and take stuff away. So first, I just started with this, you know, piano part. Very simple, you know, the one that we heard. And when I was first originally writing this, I started with everything from the sample. I took just our piano part, and I figured, why not reverse it? You can kind of hear it. And then I figured, let's just reverse the 808 as well. I figured... at least my thought process with this was that it would sound really nice kind of as a lead-in. And honestly, I did not add it too much until we get to these kind of empty kit parts here. Kind of have like the main drums being built a little bit further into the song. And we don't introduce anything else until we get to this empty kit part, at least from the samples. Eventually, once we get to this empty kit, all it is just a pattern that has all the other samples in it as well. But I wanted to add a little bit more. So starting, before I go into any of these guitar parts up here, I actually started on with some strings. After I kind of added this, I also wanted to start incorporating a little bit of the lower octaves. And when I was writing this, fun fact, I used Magic Keyboard Typing, and I used my keyboard. Used my keyboard to play everything for all the MIDI parts here. And that is up to you if you want to believe it or not. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know why I'd make that up. Kind of after adding these strings, I figured out the vibe that I wanted to go. And that was almost, I want to say like mystery-esque, almost like a spy movie it was kind of giving, at least with the strings. And that's where I decided to add my guitar. So this was the original guitar that I started with. So I also wanted something moving a little bit underneath it, and that's where I had this kind of Trek, this summing stack with a couple different pads. I figured it was, you know, gotta add a bass, so I did two different ones. The first one was this low growl bass, and then we also had another bass to kind of help fill it out a little bit. And lastly, the last sound that we have is this guitar here, which this is more of an effect that I did that I really like, which is this step FX. Now, the step effects is pretty much just, will modulate a lot of, you know, whatever track it's on. There's a bunch of different things on here, bunch of different presets. If I'm being honest, guys, I did not mean to even put this on. I was trying to put something else called Remix FX. I just missed and clicked the step effects, and it gave me a really cool effect. This was not the route I took at all. I ended up doing the step effects. That was pretty much my track. There was a lot going on, I think, and, you know, comparing it to what other tracks might be, there's not as much space, I feel like, maybe for somebody to like record or sing on, because at least for me when I was doing this, I didn't have, you know, that in mind. I was really just trying to, you know, make as much movement and, you know, exciting as I could. So that's what I was really trying to do, and I hope, you know, I was able to accomplish it a little bit. The drums itself and the sample was super fun to work with, and I had a good time making this. I think it sounds really cool. I think it sounds very spy-esque, so I'm happy with how it came out, and, you know, when you guys take a listen to it, I hope you guys enjoy as well.
All right, here we go. I'm excited to hear what he has and how he implemented those samples. We'll see. I have no idea what to expect, but hey, that's the best part. Oh, okay, let me just say, I was debating on if I should even pause it or just let it play out. But let me just say, this was not what I was expecting. I love that, like, it's starting off, you didn't expect it to go into what it just went into. And it's cool hearing him do this style because this is my style, and I love just seeing what he chose to do as opposed to me. You know, I have all of these pre-thoughts in my head about how to implement this trap beat or a trap beat or hip hop beat or whatever. Whereas he's coming in with this fresh look and he doesn't listen to that much rap as far as I'm aware. So it's just cool to see how somebody is doing it, you know. And it's like his own style of trap too, which I'm really liking. The kick, I love the kick pattern, how it's like dun, 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 dun. I just really like that. So Fi. That is fi. That's all I gotta say. I mean, obviously, like, mixing, obviously, but I don't think we were aiming for that. I think we were going for the beat and, like, what we could do with the samples. I think he did great. He just took it in a whole different perspective. Whereas, like I said, with my beat, I feel like I just went a more of kind of standard route. I like how unique his is. And yeah, I just love how he broke up. I don't know if the piano sample is just pitched down or whatever it is. It sounds really cool compared to keeping it how it was. Honestly, he did a really good job with the hi-hats too, if I do say so myself.
So those are our two beats. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to comment and like and let us know what you thought about everything. Once again, my name is Enrique from One Take Recording. We had Shayla on as well today, and thank you guys for watching. I definitely want to do more of these kind of beat sample flips in the future, maybe with me sending her some. And just trying to figure out what to do and, you know, just having fun with it. So thank you guys for watching. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. We have a ton of other music stuff out already, so definitely go check that out. And yeah.